For over 1,000 years, it stood as the heart of an empire, the bridge between worlds, a beacon of civilization. Constantinople, the second Rome, the city that defied barbarians, religious schisms, and the relentless march of time. But in 1453, an enemy gathered at its gates, armed with new weapons and an unyielding ambition. This was not just a battle for a city. It was the closing chapter of an era and the violent birth of another. This is the story of Constantinople's final stand, a turning point that sent shockwaves across continents and reshaped the course of history. Constantinople, founded by Emperor Constantine the Great in 330 AD, was a marvel of its age. Strategically perched on the Bosporus Strait, it controlled vital trade routes between Europe and Asia. Its legendary Theodosian walls, a triple line of formidable defenses, had repelled countless sieges for centuries. It was the capital of the Byzantine Empire, the inheritor of Roman glory and Eastern Orthodoxy. A center of art, learning, and faith, its Hagia Sophia stood as a testament to human ingenuity and divine aspiration. But by the mid-15th century, the empire was a shadow of its former self, a dwindling state surrounding a once mighty heart. On the Ottoman throne sat a young, ambitious sultan, Mehmed II. He was barely 21, but his mind was set on one singular goal: the conquest of Constantinople. For him, it was more than a strategic prize. It was a divine imperative, a destiny. Mehmed II was a brilliant military strategist and a ruthless pragmatist. He understood that the old ways of siege warfare wouldn't work against Constantinople's walls. He commissioned the creation of massive cannons, including the legendary basilica, forged by the engineer Urban, a weapon so powerful it could breach even the toughest stone. He also built a fleet and a new fortress, Rumeli Hisari, just miles from Constantinople, to control the Bosporus. The stage was set. In April 1453, Mehmed II arrived with an army estimated at over 100,000 soldiers, including the elite Janissaries. Facing them was Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos and a defending force of only about 7,000, a mix of Byzantines and foreign mercenaries. The Ottoman cannons began their relentless bombardment, shaking the ancient walls. For weeks, the defenders fought with incredible bravery, repairing breaches under fire, repelling naval assaults. Mehmed II even ordered his ships to be dragged overland into the Golden Horn, bypassing the chain that protected the city's harbor, a feat of engineering and sheer willpower. The fate of the city hung by a thread. After weeks of bombardment, Mehmed II ordered the final assault on May 29th. Waves of Ottoman troops stormed the walls. The Byzantine defenders, led by Emperor Constantine XI himself, fought with heroic courage, knowing this was their last stand. The battle was fierce, brutal, and bloody. The Janissaries, the elite shock troops of the Ottoman army, eventually broke through the weakened walls. Emperor Constantine XI, shedding his imperial regalia, reportedly died fighting bravely in the streets, a true emperor to the last. The city fell. The fall of Constantinople in 1453 was an event of monumental significance. It marked the definitive end of the Byzantine Empire, the last vestige of the Roman Empire. It shifted the balance of power in the Mediterranean and the eastern shores of major waterways. But its impact resonated far beyond military conquest. The Ottoman Empire, now firmly in control of vital trade routes, became a dominant force. Many Byzantine scholars fled to Italy, bringing with them precious Greek manuscripts and classical knowledge, which significantly fueled the European Renaissance and the Age of Discovery. The search for new routes to the east, bypassing Ottoman control, spurred voyages that would lead to Columbus's discovery of the Americas. What lessons can we draw from the fall of this grand city? History teaches us that even the most formidable defenses can fall to innovation and relentless will. It reminds us that empires, no matter how glorious, are transient. But it also shows us that endings can be beginnings. The fall of Constantinople was in many ways a catalyst for a new dawn in Europe. The Renaissance, the exploration of new worlds, the spread of knowledge. It reminds us that history is a constant flow, a fulcrum of change, where the collapse of one era often paves the way for the rise of another.